Forever trusting who we are, then nothing else matters.
After talking with David, I do feel I want to embark on that Indiana Jones experience and go and find the cave. The cave is near Llandirmwyn. It is believed he chose the cave in this area to watch over his lover, who was at the time married to a wealthy landowner. They lived on a farm called Ystrad. Now Twm's cave is situated just opposite the farm on the mountainside on Dinas Hill. The story says that Twm Sion Cati ran away to Switzerland, but around 10 years later, when Queen Elizabeth was on the throne, he returned to Britain and was pardoned. In 1600, Twm eventually married his childhood sweetheart from the farm of Ystrad, and he moved on to become the local magistrate in Brecon. But in 1609, Twm passed away. It's a long old walk up to the cave, and in the background I can hear the water flowing. This is quite a fast flowing sound, and they're constantly reminding me of this fast flowing water into this cave, and you know, it's really building up to something very special, I think. I don't want to wait any longer. So, walking up to the cave itself, it takes it out of you. It's a very dangerous walk, lots of rocks, the river going right beside it. But now that I'm here, I'm just literally at the doorstep of the cave. This is the first time I'm placing these steps in my life, in my journey. At the moment, it's beautiful, but looking at the surroundings, it's amazing. But so is Porthorogol. It's equally as amazing. I think it all brushes down to the cave itself. The cave so far it's just a hole. And there's a little tiny gap just inside. Maybe I can squeeze through to try and get up in. Let's give it a go. I've waited over 30 years for this moment, but my fear is it's not going to live up to what I expect it to be. You know, that's everything gone. My whole feeling of the cave, it's completely shattered. I thought it would have been a cave. This is just a hole in the ground. There's lots of markings and lots of writing around me. Nothing of significance I can see that actually says Twm Sion Cati here. I'm devastated. I'm devastated. The whole journey of actually getting here and getting up to the cave, finding it. You know, it was a long journey. It was a long struggle to actually get to it. You know, it's been the past 30 years that I thought a cave was somewhere else, and I wish it was still there. I feel a bit deceived, really. I feel as if, you know, the whole story of Twm Sion Cati was there. It was real. Yeah, I come to here, and it just seems a big fake. Finding this cave has really sort of has really tested me. It's not, this cave is you know, it's not even reality. So maybe I just, I don't know, it's going to be a hard thing to do, but just to think that this never existed, and I'll always go to Porthorogol and enjoy that myth, that story that I was told when I was a boy, because this story, it doesn't have a happy ending. You know, I'm polishing the stone of Twm Sion Cati. Now I know, and now I realise why the stone was originally polished. This is not a part of it. You have to give me a minute. I don't think I can accept this as Twm Sion Cati's cave. I'm going to go back to Lampeter and talk with the anthropologist, Dr. Samantha Hearn.
I think that's one of the reasons that mythology is so popular and so pervasive, really, in most cultures around the world, is that it's flexible. It can be it's so open to interpretation. Myths maybe have a basis in fact somewhere along the line, but because they are constantly being reinvented and reinterpreted and appropriated by different individuals or different groups, then it's a lot easier to attribute a myth to a particular place that has resonance for you as an individual. If there's no kind of archaeological or historical evidence, then that's what makes it a myth. And it's like you say, the Indiana Jones kind of experience, but it's also like the Holy Grail, or the kind of the pursuit of something that's known to exist, but the kind of the finite details are open to interpretation and discovery. So yeah, there's absolutely no reason why your cave can't be Twm's cave. It's just as likely a contender as any other cave, really.
So what I remember of the cave in Brecon was going there when I was about 13 with a school trip, and there was about 50 or 60 children. So you just have to imagine 60 children in that cave, which I know is a large cave, but it was still a lot to control. So the teacher told us the story of Twm Sion Cati. The horse on the cave wall was just described as a freak of nature because it was sandstone or limestone. So when Daddy and I took you there, Daddy had always been a great storyteller. He'd always told you stories. It was the only way really we could keep you from doing destructive things. So I decided to sit you down and tell you this story of Twm Sion Cati. And obviously I elaborated an awful lot. I told you about the horse in the corner being his horse, and I don't know what else I told you that day, but obviously it had a huge impact on you, and I'm really sorry about that because I lied.
It's been over 8 months since I was last here at Porthorogov, and it is the middle of winter. Dr. Samantha Hearn said the cave can be wherever I want it to be. That's the great thing about a myth. And Twm Sion Cati probably had lots of caves dotted around or had little hideouts. But this cave has a real special connection to me. Ever since a boy, I've always thought about this cave, and it's very difficult for me to let go. So for me, the cave of Twm Sion Cati will always be here at Porthorogov.
Over time we change and shape stories, like rocks which are gently polished by the elements that they interact with. And as such stories develop, we smooth and chip away from the stone until the myth becomes polished and fitting for all.